Hello again, and thank you for joining Jeff and Jenny's Classic Restorations. Well, we're back today. As I mentioned, we're going to be doing the saddle. It's just over here. I hope we don't have any problems with it. It's quite rusty inside there, so the problem I'm worried about is the rivets. But we'll have a look at that. Please forgive me if it all goes wrong, but that will make an interesting video if it's all gone wrong. But yeah, so it's daylight now. I'm off for 3 days, and of course, just because I'm off, I've got a tickly cough now, bit of a runny nose, so I think I'm going to try and see if I can get this video done today before I get any worse. It's always something just before Christmas. It's actually the Monday before Christmas now, so this is to go out on Saturday. So Jenny's still got a collar on again. We took it off for a couple of days. She started biting again, but as I think I mentioned in the last video, you can see this over here, she gets scratched when she goes into the undergrowth and then starts biting it. But she's going to the vet on Saturday before Christmas, just have a bit of a check over, but she's fine other than that. So let's get inside the shed and see what we can do with this saddle. Well, here we are in the shed again. I've got my little heater going here. It's not a particularly cold day, but just it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable with the runny nose. What I have done, I'm off work for 3 days, and at work on the railways they have a very strict drinking policy, and I don't drink anyway. I just have 1 Guinness a night. But I bought this last night on the way home, and I found it helped. It's Jack Daniels. Basically, I just take a tiny little sip, only a little spit of it, and just let it go around the throat, and it's touch wood, it seems to be working. So I hope I don't start coughing through this, and if you see me take a swig of that, you know why. But it's horrible. I don't like whiskey or spirits or anything like that. So I've got 2 or 3 days to just have that, get it out of my system before I go back to work. So anyway, back to the saddle, and what I've been worrying about is the rivets, to get them out. And looking at the rivets, these, I don't know what rivets you'd call them, but I don't know if you can see, but they sort of spray out at the end there. So that was going to be my first problem, and I was just wondering whether to cut them off or whatever. But I'm going to try using a very small screwdriver, see if I can just peel those back a bit, which will get these 2 out. The others have come, well, that one's snapped off anyway. This one is next to useless. And then I'm hoping that the actual whole cover should just slide off, and then we can work on that once that's off. But let's see how we get on. I did have a little go, and get a little screwdriver in there. Sometimes it can. Some of them did move. See, there's one there. See, that lifts up. So you just bear with me, and I'm going to go around and try and do this. This will be like watching paint dry. Just try and get all these little things up and see if these come out, we can get the cover off. Well, after a little bit of mucking around and finally getting those little bits off, and a little bit of WD-40 in there, it's finally coming loose, I think. There we go, and that should just slide off there. Yeah. Okay, right. Well, that needs obviously a clean up, and then we can repair these little bits. Okay. So we'll have to take these rivets out as well. Right. Okay. So we'll come back to that one. Right, I'm just taking this saddle clamp off. It's a funny mechanism, this is. It slides off. I just need to sort of push these, get this out off this rail here. It's got to just miss that bolt going through. There we go. Hopefully this will come out. It's a bit of a funny design, that, but yeah, a lot of cleaning up there to do. So just get these back on so we know where they go. Bolts in there. There we go. Right, quite a bit of cleaning up there to do. What I'd like to do is get these springs out. God knows how we start on this. I've got some WD-40 in there. They must come out somehow. So let's try a spanner in there if we can. Well, the WD-40 seems to have helped. see. Well, that's it out anyway. Right, I'll try the same all the way round and hopefully we can get the top ones out as well. And that, perhaps we'll take these springs out as well along here. Right, got one spring out. This is the thing to put the tool bag on the back. This one was a little bit more of a nightmare. This one took a bit of heat on this one. It was starting to strip the nut, so but it's coming off now. So let's just get the final bit done. Nearly there. There we go. Probably still a bit hot. Let's get that off. Right, okay. So all the springs are coming out here, which is a bit of luck. Yeah, well, sort that out in a minute. Oh, there's one. Let's see what else. Yeah, sort that out in a minute. And there's one more I think I can get out here, which will give me 2 bits to work on. Just that bit. So you see it. One more bolt there, and hopefully we can get that out. That will give that'll be free then, easier to work on with all this. So I'll just get that bolt out. Might be some WD-40 on there, and this should come away. Well, once again with a little bit of heat, that came out. That's there. Now all the springs are out, and gives us something, these little bits to work on rather than an awkward thing altogether. So, and this bit is what the spring's attached to. That just clips in there and pulls tight on that. Right, so we're now left with a load of bits and a load of cleaning. So I'll get on. I'll show you a little bit. You don't have to see all of this. This is going to be quite a little bit of time. Don't really need much dust in my face at the moment with this runny nose, but we'll sure get on, and I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, okay, I'm going to first start off with the grinder. It's a little bit hard going with this one. It probably will rip into that. So, but I have got the file as well, electric file, which I'll probably use more. But I'm just going to quickly put a mask on because the last thing I need with a runny nose is dust or rust. So bear with me. Okay, so I'll carry on doing that. It's going to be very boring. I'll probably try and get this all done today. It's starting to get dark in a minute as well, so I'll try and get this done, and then I'll come back to you. Hopefully I still feel okay enough to do it. Perhaps Wednesday, and we get it all powder coated and back together again. But yeah, apologies about my workbench thing here. This was only a cheapie, and these within a week give up. So that'll be being chucked. Maybe Father Christmas will buy me a new Black & Decker workbench, but I will be getting one of those. But we'll just get this done, and I'll come back to you in a day or so. Well, it's now Tuesday evening. My cold hasn't really got any worse. The cough's started again, and I haven't got any more whiskey, and I'm getting a bit too close to going back to work now, so I won't be drinking any more of that. So bear with me if I end up with a coughing fit. But yesterday I did carry on and managed to get a lot of this sanding back. I've still got a few little nooks and crannies to get into, which I'll probably use a Dremel on. But most of it's come up okay now. And what I'm going to do tomorrow, well, once I've finished these off completely, I've got a few screws and bolts to clean up as well. and then we'll start thinking about powder coating that tomorrow. I wanted to just do a little bit of filming tonight because I managed to get the rivet completely out yesterday. Now I've got these rivets here which I'm going to use, hopefully, if we can open the thick box up. And they've got these goldy ones here which seem to be the only ones that might fit, so that will go through there and then into the bodywork or onto the frame of this. So my idea is to get rid of the other rivets, and unfortunately I don't have a hole punch, so I'm going to have to take a gamble just trying to drill through the centre there. This one I was going to leave, but of course it won't look quite right. This is the one with a little bit that slides under the front of the frame, but if I can get that out and re-riveted, obviously these have got to come out, these are terrible, and then hopefully the plan is to, once that is on the frame, I might be able to just drill through the centre and then through the frame here, and then hopefully we can get the rivet on, and that's the idea. The only other thing, they're all hanging up now, the springs, I've painted those today, so they're all hanging up, so they'll be dry tomorrow. And the reason I wanted to do this tonight is because I want to try and get some of this this filler that I got, try and get this in some of these gaps, and hopefully this might help that a little bit there at the front, and then that will dry overnight, and then it gives me a chance in to, once we've got everything back together, we can go over with the excuse me, here we go, the leather sort of dye then, and hopefully bring that up to look nice. So what am I doing? I've forgotten. Anyway, I've told you what I'm doing. I'm going to carry on cleaning this up a little bit tomorrow, the nuts and bolts, and we can get on and powder coat all this stuff tomorrow. And so now I'm just going to take a gamble and see if I can drill these rivets out without causing too much damage. Well, I'm hoping if I just use a slightly bigger drill on this side, as I can just about get in there, if I can just gently get these off, these little edges of the rivet, hopefully that will be enough to get these two out, and then I've just got to worry about the one with a little bar across there. So we'll just give this a go. It might work, it might not, but we'll see. Much. I think I'll have to go back to the old method of just pulling them back for now. Don't want to overdo that, so I'll go back just see if I can peel those back again. Well, I did manage to get them all out in the end, just by the old-fashioned way of just twisting those back, the little tabs in there, just give them a little bit of a drill to get it started and pull them back. So that's all off. So yeah, I'm hoping once we can get this frame back together, the plan is, so I've got a hole here which will line up with one at the back here, hopefully, and then obviously there's no holes down here. So the plan is to drill through that hole there without melting anything, drill through, and then hopefully get a rivet there, and hopefully this little bar thing, we might be able to get that back in as well with another rivet through there. So we'll see how that goes. The last thing I need to do tonight, as I say, it's a bit late, but I need to get this on before I do the seat, because I'm hoping we can get it finished tomorrow. I certainly hope so anyway. If we can get this stuff in, this filler stuff into these cracks and that, they should be dry by tomorrow. This is all washed. I took this all for a good wash yesterday, so this isn't going to work, is it? Of course it won't. So we're just going to slightly fill this up in here. Okay, might have to let that just go off a little bit and get some more in there. I don't know if I can do anything with this back bit here. We can try, can't we? And try and smooth that over as well. Okay, a little bit more there. Okay, once again we'll let that dry, and that's why I want to do this tonight. I'll put some more on there in a minute and level that, and hopefully that'll be dry tomorrow. We can carry on, get this back together again. The only thing that's worrying me is getting the holes drilled through there, but we'll do that tomorrow. So I'll just let that dry a little bit more, flatten that off, and that shall do until tomorrow. Right, it's next afternoon now. I spent a little bit of time this morning trying to get some of these very rusty washers and things like that cleaned up. Pretty much there now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to powder coat these 2 bits or 3 bits first, the bigger bits, and then I'll do the smaller bits afterwards once this is done, just to make life a bit easier. So I've already got the tape around there, heat resistant tape to protect the threads around there. So I won't bore you all this, I'll just powder coat this one, put it in there, and I'll get on and do the rest. And when you come back, we should be hopefully fully powder coated. I'm going to use nickel silver today, so hopefully it was a sort of a grey colour underneath when what there was left of any paint, so I think nickel silver should do it. So I'm going to go and get set up. We do some bit of powder coating on just this bit, and then I will come back to you once they're all done, looking okay hopefully. Okay, so this is all ready. I'll just get the mask on, and we'll just powder coat this, and then I'll get on to the rest afterwards. Right, finally back from powder coating. Generally not too bad. As I say, some of it was pitted anyway, so it's still going to be stronger than paint. The springs have come up all right on the outside, but it was very difficult to get inside. I tried all sorts of file and everything, but it certainly looks nice on the outside. This came up all right. The bracket for to go onto the stem, that's okay. And I did forget to do 2 nuts for that, so I'll clean them up a little bit later. All the other nuts here were shined up and derusted, but I've left them in soak in ACF 50, so they got a bit dark, but they are derusted and shouldn't rust anymore for now. So we'll leave that one just for a bit later. So try and get it back together again, I suppose. So I have, it would be, you would think it was straightforward. I do actually have a picture of it, so I think the first thing we need to do, if this is right, oh, Jenny's coming in. Are you coming in, sweetheart? I'll show you. Look, she's just out here. Look, come to see her daddy. Look, there she is. Are you coming in? No, she's not. Not interested. Right. Let's put you straight again. Right. Okay. So I think we'll start to get the springs in, which obviously went with these, which was the toolbox or tool bag that go on the back. So I assume they must go in a downwards position like that, and that one there, and then we can have the springs on top of that, and same there. And what I'm going to do is bolt this up. Now it's going to take well, not ages, but it's going to be very boring, plus it'll probably all go wrong if I'm filming it. So you can see what I'm doing. Basically straightforward enough. Put the spring on and tighten the nut up from inside, but that's going to take a little bit of time. I can guarantee that's not going to start going on and that, but I'll get those two on and then we'll come back and see what we can do with the rest. Okay, well, they're on. You wouldn't have wanted to watch that, but I'll just basically tell you how I did it, in case you do want to tackle this job. I doubt it. I wish I just bought a new one. But anyway, all I done was get that in there, over the top of the bolt, and I just used this extension, 1/4 mil extension, just to push down there, hold the bolt in place, and then just start tightening up with the spanner, and you get there. So that's how I did it, but you'll be watching for hours. Right, next bit now is to get these on. I'm too sure which way these go round now. I've got this bar, this goes along there, that goes on, that goes first, but we've got to get the others lined up as well. So I think what we might as well do is get these in up this end just loosely for now. Let's go that way, I think, and this one perhaps the other way, I don't know. Yeah, okay, so I'll get this sorted out and then get this tightened up, just temporary. Okay, so that's in there, just temporary for the moment. I mentioned this one has to go first, and then we've got these bolts that go all the way through. Hopefully that will do it. If we can get anything on there, I don't know if that's right. Doesn't feel right again. Bear with me, come back to that again. Well, eventually got it all the right way round now. I'm just going to get this side loosely in first. The next thing I'm going to do, as I say, I haven't done those two bolts yet, but I'll clean them in a minute. And before I put this one on, I'll put these into their runners. That'll stay scratching all this later on, won't it? So let me try and get this in. I haven't got the luxury of getting the thing through there, the extension thing. So what I'm going to have to try and do, as I did before, is as I say, if I film all this, it's nothing, it will be all night, even longer. So I'm going to try and get that in there, hold that down with that, down that way. See what I mean? It won't work. So same idea, I'll get that on, hold it on, and then just slowly try and get it tightened up. And as I say, I'll quickly afterwards clean these two bolts up, slide that on, and then hopefully get the this other spring in and finish that side. Well, that did turn out to be an easier, better idea, rather than scratching all that up and down there. So that's all tight now, ready for that stalk thing to go on, and everything else is tightened up. So that's the last bit of this frame. This thing goes in here, and then all we need to do is connect all these springs up again. But there are some shorter ones. Let's have a look. In fact, they're all short, most of them. I don't know, half and half. That's a long one. 4 long ones and 3 short. Okay, so I would assume the short ones must go up this end. So let me just see, how many holes have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 holes, and 8 springs. Yes. Doesn't matter really, so we could leave the middle one out. Right, okay, so these must be the short ones. Okay. One. Yeah, it might be better that way. Right, let me go around and do all this, and I'll come back to you again. Right, okay, well, it's all springs done now, all tightened up. That's okay. Now the bit I'm sort of dreading now is doing these rivets. This was the little bar that here that goes in there and hooks over the front of the saddle. So that's got to go around there somewhere. So I'm hoping this is going to work. It's one of the new rivets in there. Push that through there and over there. Now I've never done this before, so this is going to go wrong, obviously, isn't it? This little thing has to go here underneath. So obviously I can only do it for this side because I'm not going to have enough room to do it. But I don't know if it's this side. Bear with me because I'm not really know what I'm doing here. Right, okay, I think. So oh, for God's sake, there we go. Right, so all being well, it's all never going to go right, is it? That goes in there. That goes on there. That goes on there. And with now I've lost my little bar thing. No, I haven't. There we are. And then we use this thing here. I have to just get a hammer in it. And apparently that goes in there. That goes over the top, and a light tap. Don't know if it's on or not. Maybe it's on. Yeah, okay. Right, so now the worst bit is trying to do this side. I'll try and get that one on, and then I'll come back to you. Well, those two seem to be holding all right. Now this is the bit I was actually going to dread. This used to have the little clips that used to pull that in, but what I'm going to have to do, I think, is drill a hole through there, through the frame, and then put one each in there like that, and that hopefully should do it. But we'll see. Well, there we go. Eventually, I've changed the colours here, unfortunately, but they seem to be stronger. But all done all round now. The little holes are drilled in there, which is holding that one. So just the one last bit to do. I'll probably finish off with this bit now because it's going to take. Just going to have to. Sorry, excuse me. Get some more gloves. It's just going to take a couple, well, 2 or 3 coats. We'll just get one done for now and just see if it is any sort of a colour match. So just put a little bit on there. Yeah, seems to be working. Yeah. All that. Obviously, need some more on here. We done the repair earlier. Probably need a few coats around here. Yeah, so just let that soak in for now, and I'll just keep going over this bit. Yeah, pretty much a good match, that one. Alright, I'll carry on doing that, and so keep touching up round here for a bit. After it's let it dry, keep giving a few coats. Right, okay, just leave that for now, and so I'll just carry on with it. So yeah, fairly successful job today, 3 days. And say I'm sure once I get some more coats on that, that will come up even better. So we call that a day for today, for this video. And well, just say goodbye to Jenny. She's just survived again. My son's just been horrible to her and just playing this karaoke thing, talking to her, and she's coming here shaking just a minute ago, but it is horrible to her, like a little sister. But let's say goodbye to Jenny, and we call it a day. Here we are, out at night again, dark, torch. Jenny's back with her window there, seeing what's going on, aren't you? And you've just been scared by your James, your little brother, or your big brother, teasing you. Anyway, so that will do for today. It has taken 3 days to do this. I'll go and edit it in a minute. So I hope you did enjoy it. It didn't turn out too bad, and you know, saved me having to buy a new one. So until next time, you take care. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.